Katie Villanueva, fitness instructor here at John Knox Village. During the month of May, we're celebrating Older Americans Month with the theme being Communities of Strength. I'm here with Pat and Jack, associated with the golf leagues here at John Knox Village, and they're going to share with us a little bit about what they do and how they contribute to the strength of our community here. So Jack, can you tell me a little bit about yourself and what you do here?
Do we have to lead off with older American?
I didn't choose it.
How about more mature Americans?
Call it what you want.
We don't consider ourselves old.
I know.
That's why we're out here playing golf and whatnot. Well, as far as I'm concerned, I came here, I signed in December of 2016, moved in January the following year, so I'm working on my 5th year. Live out south end of town on Shamrock Lane, so we're considered street people, not homeless, but we live on the streets. I have at the end of Shamrock Lane, we have a sidewalk that leads up to the Sun Valley pool. So everybody gets to walk past our house, and I get to stop them and talk all I want and introduce myself, and we have a good time out there. Having lived in Raytown, Missouri for over 20 years, back in the 60s, 70s, 80s, I watched John Knox being built, and have a lot of friends back there, and a lot have moved out here, including a lot of golfers. So it's been, even though I was gone for about 30 years in between there, it's been nice to come back to a lot of my friends, and that's the best part of it. We sit out on our driveways at night many times and just exercise the elbow and that type. I had a real good friend that we knew for the years that we're in Raytown, and he and I enjoyed Manhattans together. So it was just a little over a year ago. We started meeting Monday nights at Stories and shooting the breeze and having our Manhattans, and following week a couple other friends of ours wanted to join us and whatnot. Well, by the time Todd Holland shut down the restaurants, which was about 3 months later, we had 18 coming on Monday nights, which we called the Monday Magic Mixers. We all loved our Manhattans. So he just started it back up again, and now that we can get back in the restaurants, I think we had 20 there last Monday, so wow. They're all coming back. That's part of what we enjoy, just being together.
All right, so you're president of the Men's Golf League.
Men's Golf League, yes.
Okay.
Why, I don't know, but it didn't take long when they moved in. Ron Clement, who did a great job with it, saw me coming, I guess. I don't know. So we made the transition. We were up to almost 50 members before we had the shutdown. So working back at it now to get people back in. A lot of new people have moved in. We just get out there and play. We're having a good time.
Yeah. So what is your favorite part about kind of leading the Men's Golf League?
Just meeting new ones, meeting old ones, meeting more mature ones, and having a good time.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what does being a strong community mean to you?
That means exactly what we're doing. We're all working together on it. We all have the same goals, And the more we play together, the more we talk together or eat together, it just makes the whole community.
So how do you feel your role as being the president of the golf league kind of helps contribute to the overall strength of the village?
Not a whole lot, because we're all together, so it's a little bit on everybody's part. All right, if I mention other names, like Don Berkeheiser,
I'm sure.
I mean, he is the worker here. He's been putting it together more than all of us. We just work right with him. But
so it's a team effort.
absolutely,
You all work together.
absolutely.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. So how do you feel that the fitness center or physical fitness in general kind of helps contribute to the strength of John Knox Village?
Well, to watch you gals work, that's, I mean.
Watch us work. You better be working with us.
Oh, are we supposed to do it too? See you on the TV and whatnot. You guys got it all together, and we follow if we want. But it keeps us loose and in action, and we're not ready to sit in the rocking chair yet. We're going to get out there and play. So.
Perfect. All right, Jack. Anything else you want to add?
Just we're thankful to Billy and David and Jeff out here keeping this course in good shape. We're doing a lot of advances this year on the new putting areas and greens, and it's going to come out fine. Just give it another month or so here, and a little warm weather, a little rain. We'll be back in business.
All right. Well, thank you for joining me today, and we'll have Pat come and join us next.
My pleasure.
All righty. Hi, Pat. Nice to see you. Tell me a little bit about yourself and what you do here at the village.
Okay. Ron and I moved in about 7.5 years ago, and pretty early on, I got involved with the community theater and with the golf, and have been involved with both ever since.
Okay. So what do you feel is the best part about what you do here, or your favorite part?
Well, I think the main reason we chose John Knox is because of all the activities. I like to be involved. We particularly like the fact that there are lots of opportunities to get together with friends. We're short-term socializers. We love to get together with people, but we need a lot of time alone as well. And so John Knox is ideal for that, because we can play a game of golf, or a round of golf, or we can do a play rehearsal, or we can go to dinner with friends and then go home and peace and quiet, and somebody else is mowing the lawn.
Yes.
We just do the fun things. We don't have to do the work.
Definitely. So what does being a strong community mean to you?
I think the socialization, the fact that there are so many ways to be active, because if you're not active, you're not socializing, you're sitting at home, and that's not the way, that's not the way most retirees want their lives to be. And so there's so many opportunities to be active here, and I think that's what makes this a strong community.
So how do you feel your role as being the president of Women's Golf League kind of helps contribute to the strength of the community?
I'm going to step back a little bit and say, as the president, I think my biggest responsibility is probably twofold. I stay in touch with Stephanie so that all the information about joining and being involved is included in the Village Voice, so that people know who we are and what we are, and how they can be involved. And then secondly, it's to make anyone who thinks they might be interested to feel comfortable, so that we say, and most, or I would say 99% of the organizations here are that way. They want newcomers to come in, and they're very welcoming. And you don't, in our case, you don't have to be able to play golf. We'll be glad for you to learn, and we'll help you learn. And mostly what we're doing is having an excuse to get together. We're not really, none of us are great golfers. This is a lovely course, but this is not a serious golfer's course. This is a course for people who want to have fun. And so I think my responsibility is to make everybody feel comfortable and welcome and want to be part of it.
So if someone new wanted to try golf, do you guys have golf clubs that you can lend out, or how does that work?
We have a few clubs around. Now, we used to be able to just say, go over to the thrift store and pick up a few, because they always had lots of golf clubs over there. Now we can't do that. So we do have a few in the locker room. Most people come with at least a few, and you really only need a few out here. So, and we have lots of balls, thanks to Berkey Heiser and just other people who are always lugging balls in and saying, here. So we have lots of balls, so if we put them in the lake, it doesn't matter.
That's good to know. So how do you feel that the fitness center kind of helps contribute to the strength of the community here?
A couple of ways. One is that you're so encouraging in everything that we do. You're very good at saying, if you need to stop in an exercise class, if you want to sit down, sit. If you want to adapt the exercise to make it a little easier for yourself, do so. And it's very affirming always. And so it encourages us to get up and move and not be concerned about, hey, I can't raise my arm this high or whatever. You guys are just really very supportive.
Thank you.
I think we really appreciate that. And I think just having all the opportunities to exercise in so many different ways is really important, because some people like me don't like to feel like they're exercising. We have to do it by accident.
That's normal.
And we've really appreciated the programs that have been on during COVID, so that we can do it in our living room. In fact, I'm having a hard time moving out of my living room to do my exercises, but it's really been so good. When you first put that first program on, I said, hallelujah, because it's just too easy not to exercise, but you guys just make it easy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Pat, well, thank you for joining me, and we're going to head across campus and go visit the Hobby Hut in the garden next. We're here at the Hobby Hut with Greg. Greg, can you tell me a little bit about yourself and what you do in here?
Okay. Well, I've moved here, be 6 years in June, and I work in somewhere in the neighborhood of 60 to 70 hours a month. And other people, there's several that probably work more than that, and there's several that work kind of when they want to, maybe once or twice a week.
Yeah.
As far as things that we do here, a lot of people come in and you can see, just work on things that they want, personal things. A number of the people work for making toys for the Lee Summit Social Services.
Okay.
And in the past, we probably made anywhere from 600 to 700, somewhere in that, of various things, and you can see some of them on the shelf over there as typical of what we make, and a lot of other things as well. This year has been a little bit different, and it's probably going to be more in the neighborhood of 150 or something like that. And these go to basically for children, younger children, at Christmas time is primarily what they're used for. As far as myself, I spend most of my time working on things that come in from the associates or people that live here. We don't do anything for anybody outside of the village.
Okay.
But and that's from fixing risers, if you know what they are, for chairs,
Yeah.
for people that need it. And it's amazing what raising a chair 3 inches off the floor can do for somebody in the ability to get up and out of a chair. I was
Definitely.
surprised myself. When you try it, it's much easier to get up if you're starting out 3 inches higher. So, and I make probably, in the past, this year again is a little different, but in the past I've made 60 to 70 of those a year.
Wow.
So 1 or 2 a week anyway. And people put them to good use. So other things that we do is I've done several things for the places as far as the tray holders. When they bring a table, they have a tray that they put it on,
Right,
that folds
yeah.
out, and reworked I guess a half a dozen or so of those. So they should be in good shape when they open again,
Yeah.
as they have just done. And some bar stools for stories. People use the rounds as steps to get on them, and need replacing, and I've done that in several cases. And fix a lot of chairs come in. People have had a chair for 70, 80, 90 years. In some cases, maybe their grandparents used it before them. And need completely taken apart, making some parts possibly, gluing them back together and getting them in good shape again.
Well, awesome.
So, one of the other big things is just putting things together that people buy, a desk or some kind of cabinet or whatever it may be, fireplaces, and it comes in a box in a bunch of pieces, and then you got to put it together.
Right. So you guys
we do
that?
quite a bit of that type of thing too, and especially for new people when they come in, and you can tell it when Meadows opened up,
Yeah.
and people start coming in. We got a lot more than what we did before.
Awesome.
And that's about it.
Yeah. So what is your favorite part about what you do here at the Hobby Hut?
Well, I had a workshop at home for many years and made a lot of things, and I just enjoy, I guess, working on stuff and feel good about making something that will help people out. Basically, we don't charge anything. Our labor is free. If we need some material, whatever it may be, well, we charge for that,
Yeah.
whatever the cost is.
Okay.
But it's just, I guess, kind of helping people do things that would cost them a lot more, and in most cases are not capable of doing themselves. So,
Good. So what does being a strong community mean to you?
I guess basically somewhat what I've just said is helping people
Yeah.
do things that they can't do for themselves, and whether that's putting things together or in some cases it might be a lamp they bring in that doesn't work anymore, so you got to put a new switch in it, or it may just be falling apart. So if we can fix it, we will. And it's just amazing sometimes it's something that you've never seen before.
Yeah.
So it's kind of interesting, but again, just helping people, I think, do things that they can't do for themselves at a pretty reasonable price.
Yeah, definitely.
And in some cases, you don't know. We ask for donations, but you never know where somebody can afford $50 doesn't mean anything to them. For somebody else, $5 is a lot of money. So it's up to them whatever they want to give on that.
All right. So what does being active or utilizing the fitness center, how do you feel that kind of helps contribute to the strength of our community here at John Knox?
Well, before we shut down, I was going probably 3 times a week, and pretty consistent in doing it. And I'd have to admit, I'm not doing like I should now. I just haven't gotten back into the habit of doing it. But it just helping, you can tell the difference if you do it for a while. Your ability to get around and get up out of a chair. I'm almost 92, so just the ability of getting out of a chair easily can be a chore for some people, I'm
Yes.
sure. And but just the ability to work together with other people and hopefully help them if you can.
Perfect. All right, well, I think we're going to head over to the garden now. Thank you, Greg, for
Okay.
joining me. I'm here at the garden with Marvin. Marvin, can you tell me a little bit about yourself and what you do here with the garden?
Well, what I do mainly here at the garden, I've got what they call these raised beds. I've got 2 raised beds, and then another area where I plant some squash and cantaloupe.
Okay.
But if the garden coordinator asked me to help him out, I'd help him out, but he usually does everything himself.
Makes your job a little easier, huh? You can focus on your gardening.
Yeah, so that's a good time to volunteer when you don't get asked.
All right. And what's your favorite part about doing the gardens?
Well, I think there's probably several things. For one thing, you come out here and you talk with fellow residents, and there's fellowship involved. There's exercise involved.
Definitely.
Going along with it. So it's an activity, and and it's a healthy activity. Plus, you get to hopefully reap some of your benefits from it later on.
Definitely. And so the garden, does it produce vegetables or fruit, anything to give back to the community, or is it just for personal?
Well, it's kind of changed over the years. It's not all personal, because originally, and I've been here 16 years, originally it was intended that you give it like 10% of what you raise that goes to other residents. However, a lot has changed recently from the standpoint of the thrift shop closing and our stores changing, and so we don't have a place for that. But the area that is behind you over here, that will all be for about 70, 80 tomato plants for the Tomato Fest that we have.
Okay.
So, and the trailer back here will be used, that was built by the garden coordinator, will be used to take those tomatoes around, since we don't have the stores to distribute them in anymore. So he will find places that he can park from time to time, and where residents can get the tomatoes.
Very neat. So what does being a strong community mean to you?
Well, that is, I guess, covers a lot of things. A strong community to me is one that you have lots of activities to go to. You have something for everyone. And of course, some of those activities includes the fitness centers that we have here. To me, it also includes the nearby community. We've got 2 hospitals close by, for example. We've got other physician and doctor's offices that are really part of our John Knox Village. They're on our space. We've got something for if you need the care center, even for temporary or physical therapy or short time, we got that. We've got assisted living. So whatever is needed, there is here for the residents, and I think that all makes for a strong community.
I agree. So how do you feel that the garden kind of helps contribute to the strength of the community?
Well, it gives, like the tomatoes that will later on be made available, it's going to give fresh vegetables to the other residents that are interested in it. It's also healthy from us getting out here and having to weed and keep up. So from that standpoint, you get exercise also.
So you're kind of talking about exercise a lot.
Yes.
Of course, being from the fitness center, how do you feel the fitness center or just being physically active kind of helps contribute to the overall strength?
I think it encourages all of this, and to me, being healthy ties in so close with fitness that you really can't separate the two.
Awesome. All right, well, thank you for being with me today, Marvin, and thank you for watching.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.